Did you hit it again?
I did. I hit it again. GM
again.
Adrian, we're back. We're back in our fun little world. How are you? Are you awake? Are you really awake?
Yes, I did have the Eat Denver hangover this morning. I got in late last night. I slept in. Thank you for letting me sleep in today, everybody.
I was like, we were going to do this
refreshed?
at 8:30. She's like, no, I'll be fine. And I'm like, I don't think you will. I'm like, I'm not sure I will. And I'm getting home at like 3:30. I'm like, no.
Plus, we got a lot of feedback that people in the West Coast like this time.
Yes,
So
they
this
like
is
it a
for
little
you.
later. So
This
we're
is
going
for
to
you,
start.
California people.
We'll start mixing it up. But all right. So we're going to get started in just 40 seconds. So yeah, just watch this little intro and we'll be right back. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, March 3rd, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes-ish of Farcaster news to start your day. And I am just casting out, I have tweeted out, and I just need to cast out that we are live. And one of the conversations we had with a few different people was new tools so that we don't have to actually cast that out, that you'll actually just get notified that, hey, we're live.
Yes.
Would be really nice. So hopefully soon.
The ultimate wish list is, honestly, it's just copying what we see in Twitter from Twitter Spaces, which is
yes,
the
exactly.
little top bar that tells you who's live and which of your friends are listening. Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Exactly. So hopefully,
the network effect.
Yeah, hopefully we get that soon. And I know there's a lot of people who are either working on something or want to work on something. And hopefully that is the case. So sorry, I'm just casting this out now. And if you see a caster tweet, please share it, recast it, retweet it, all those fun things. Oops, there we go. GM Farcaster. All right, so we have a lot to tackle. We're going to start with Eat Denver, and then we'll start with everything we missed. So let's dive in. One of my favorite things at Eat Denver was the base booth and seeing Farcasters prominently being like promoted there, and Farcade, which was really cool. They were running a tournament and giving out prizes. And then the aura of it all with Robin and Moshicam's new aura. And so Adrian, what do you think of the aura?
Love the aura. Love everything Moshicam and Robin and team do. I'm Coral, by the way. I didn't actually, I think, I'm not even sure I get aura. I think it's like everyone understands. I was like, it's like, is it like a young thing? Do people talk about their auras? Or is it like a new agey thing?
It's a very new agey thing, but it's been around forever. It's not like it's a hippie thing. You know what I mean? It's a hippie thing. Now this is just a digital version of the hippie thing. And it's kind of made a comeback. It's kind of made a comeback.
And then apparently I am of the aura that everybody should avoid. I am sorry. I don't know why.
It was so funny. Everyone kept getting you as their person to avoid over and over again. I haven't. If you have me in your avoid list, please let me know, because I haven't seen anybody mention it.
No one should avoid you. But Ted said, like, so whatever aura Ted is, she was saying, like, anyone who's a Coral, she'll get as a people to avoid. Like, so there's certain auras that don't fit
kind of like
together.
it's very like astrology. It's very similar. It's, that same kind of thing where it'd be like, this sign doesn't go with that sign. And yeah, maybe, but also,
Yeah. So it makes sense that I don't even know what it is because I don't do the astrology thing either.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do mess with frames and I do mess with MashiCam, and the whole experience was super cool and it was fun. So I loved it.
Yeah. It was really, it's fun. It's really fun. I loved the different, it had some really cool descriptions and things, and mine was dead on. I really should go through and share all those because they were pretty cool. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. And what it's doing is like analyzing your cast as well. So it's taking in data and giving you this information, which I thought was pretty fun. So,
yeah. But the base booth was awesome, and I love seeing like Farcade IRL, like just the to see it was really impressive. And same with MashiCam, like you can see it in that picture, like
in the back,
you can kind of like see the auras in the frame blown up. We get on Farcaster a little bit of criticism, not criticism, but people don't come to Farcaster because they think Farcaster is built on base. And by the way, everybody loves base, but it's just like, oh, if I'm not building on base, then Farcaster is not for me. And I'm not sure we did a good job of dispelling that rumor.
Not even a little bit, but but also,
I would go to the base booth. It was like my home base. It was like, I'm missing friends. Oh,
literally,
it felt like a Farcaster booth.
I went into that booth and I was like, oh, I feel so comfortable. Because as I was walking around, when we were walking around, there was a ton of booths. I'm like, I don't know. I've never heard of that project. I've never heard of that project. I mean, probably 80%. I was like, I've never even heard of that. And it could be my bubble. I think that's part of it. And then also they just might be newer and things I just don't interact with. But I'm happy in my bubble. I love my bubble. My bubble's fantastic. I recommend it. Come on in. There's
like all we talk about is how small crypto is, and then you're like, well, here we are in Ethereum, like in the Ethereum corner, like this tiny bubble in a bubble within a tiny bubble.
Yes, like niche,
so much bigger.
Yeah, totally. And then Farcade also did a tournament at the Farcaster meetup, and this was from Sparks, JC. I didn't beat Chuck Stock, but I did come pretty close. And since he's technically disqualified, I came in first anyway and won the chromatic, locked in. So that was really fun. Like I enjoyed the tournament aspect and having that, happening as well. We were supposed to be doing one at our event also, and it just didn't come together in time. The link came a little later and I just didn't see it. So anyway, we're going to do one.
Can I tell people how the tournament worked if they weren't there?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so there was a Farcaster meetup. So like there were hundreds of people there. It's in a big room. You don't know everybody. There's TV screens, and on the TV screens was like I guess an ad for Farcade with a QR code. Right. So you hit the QR code, it opens up just the leaderboard for people at this party. And then there's a few games you get to pick. You play the games, and then you will see who's winning of the on the screen. So like the leaderboard or on the TV.
That was fun.
So
yeah,
it was just a super
so you
cool,
could see around the room who was beating you or whatever. If you were up there, if you got, if somebody jumped you, and you could be like, hey, it was fun. Yeah. It was really fun.
And it's normally antisocial to play video games at a party.
It was very social.
It was very social.
Very social. And I'm excited we're going to do a tournament with Farcade for GM Farcaster probably next week. They have a game that's going to come out, so we want to kind of tie it to the new game and then add a couple of our favorites as well. So coming soon. And there may be an extra benefit if you happen to be holding one of our hyper subs. So I don't know. NFA, DYOR, and all that kind of thing. But this was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The Farcaster meetup itself, the big one, was really fun. This was this is Brad's take. If you remember this from the Oscars years ago, this was like the selfie heard around the world. It was the first time somebody had done something like that. And then it looks very similar. But this was, we gave a little, there was a little shout out to Ted, and TLDR put together some cards for everybody to sign and to say congratulations and thank you. And then they did this picture of us. I am right here. See that yellow hat where you can't see the person? That's Yes to Crypto. And I'm right here, but you can't see me. And then this is always Lorenzo. This is Lorenzo. That's Tyler. He works for Lorenzo. Lorenzo is the Cryptoad, and he goes everywhere with Tyler. So he was prominent So funny. But this was lovely from Ted. Best in the world. Love you all. Thank you to McBain, Matthew, TLDR, and every single person that makes this place so special. But thank you to Matthew and Matthew and McBain for organizing the event for this particular event. And it was fantastic. We had a blast. For those who had some FOMO, they did their thing. So SwampNet and the Los Fomos, lovely women, added themselves to the pick. So, hey, if you have FOMO, get creative with it. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself in there. Now you're in the picture. You can't even see us. We're back there, but you can't see us. Oh, that's Adrian right there. You can't even see us. So go throw yourself in the picture. I think it's really fun. And then you know what you should do? Quotecast it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about the quotecasting.
You mean reply?
I mean quotecast. Some fire fits were happening. This was so funny. Or better comment. Box for Adrian or rock for the Rock. So Adrian recreating the Rock's pose, famous meme here, wearing Erica's fanny pack, which was just so funny. We had a lot of fun. I have to say, we had a lot of fun. And also, speaking of Erica Heavyweight and Christopher, we went to the Uno launch party. Uno is a new client for Farcaster, and they were helping onboard people right there. So if you had the proper OS running on your phone, you could download Uno and start casting from Uno. And Adrian, you were one of the 83 people at the launch party who downloaded Uno. So what do you think? Give us your take.
Uno's, it's super slick. And I'm so proud of them for launching, and I know they've been working like really hard. It is it's a Swift native app. So it is like, if you know what that means.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
So there's different ways to build apps. So like if like Swift is the development language that you use to build iPhone apps.
Okay.
There's a different language. If you want to build an Android app, you build something else. Most of the apps, I won't say most, a lot of the apps you see are built in React, which is what Warpcast is. And what that is it's not native to the platform. So you can ship one mobile app. It goes in the app store and you'll be able to see it. It'll be like the same on Android or iPhone. But when you do something on React, you don't have to re-download, how Warpcast is able to push out updates to you without you having to re-download the app. Like when you get that, like just restart. So that's React, but there's, trade-offs if you do something in React. So it's easier to build. You can push out changes faster. You can, I think, give it to both iPhone or Android. The trade-off is performance sometimes.
Okay.
It's not and like you don't have so like the Swift like the iPhone native apps tend to be a little snappier, faster. And that is something that the Uno team was very, very, it was like very important for them. And like they're literally talking about like, okay,
by the way,
10 milliseconds. Okay, stop. Yeah, you're doxing yourself, dude.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
But they're wait.
We have
not yet.
Got some big information.
Wait, but they're going from
Continue.
That, but like literally they care about like, okay, we're going to do something that take a 10 millisecond action and turn it into a 2 millisecond action. These are things most developers aren't thinking about because they focus on kind of functionality, and they really wanted to focus on like, how do you feel using this app? And so there's things that are missing. Like you can't upload pictures yet. You can't view in certain embeds, but I'm so excited for them to keep building this because it does feel different, unique. Like hitting the like button is so fast and so I'm kind of giddy about it.
So anyway, it's really a feel. It's a look and feel when you're in there, and it's So
it's fire.
I haven't had a chance to play with it because I literally didn't have it. I had to upgrade to 18. I don't do auto upgrades. I have issues with that. So I had too many podcasts downloaded is what it came down to. So I did some adjustment this morning, so I will get this done. But it was so it's really cool to hear sort of the difference, but that's what I kept hearing from people is how smooth it is. Obviously, our friend in the chat thinks it's super smooth, and I cannot. Now we need to know, can you see everyone who's on Uno natively? Like, can you see who they are?
No, but I'm friends with Erica and Christopher, and I will be asking them.
They can. Okay,
I
interesting.
will be asking them for that list of
Very
83.
interesting. So when you said, what do you know what Swift is? Some people in the chat had some thoughts. Swift is the thing used for bank transfers. Also true,
That's true.
but not the same.
Yeah.
Different Swift. And then Crypto Sapiens, aka Humpty. Swift is the music my daughter listens to by a gal named Taylor. So
Also true.
Also true, but also not. Also, yes, Adrian's fits were fire. Very clearly. Very true. So yeah, very cool to see them do the launch party and people start using the product. So congrats to the team. And it was really fun. And the party started at 10 and we still went. So that was huge. That can tell you how dedicated and how much we love Heavyweight and Christopher because it's the only thing I was going to do at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, no. Again, the fire fit, just again, clearly, we have to just take a moment. Take a moment. Yes, this is a fire fit. It's also a higher fit, if you will. So both things can be true at the same time. By the way, based on the who to avoid situation, this was one that came up also that we were just talking about. And in this one, you've got some well-known names who all popped up. And then Kojo created a prediction frame of who would win the Hunger Games death match. I picked you. I don't know if we have results yet.
I didn't even see this. Who else am I against? It's
you Rob are Rex, against Rob Rex.
Nonlinear.
Let me see if I can see it. Nonlinear, and I forget who that is. Hold on. It's the one with the green. Yeah. So clearly you.
I don't recognize the green PFP. It must be. Is it Tayeb? No.
I think it's no, it's not Tayeb.
Oh.
I don't know who it is.
It?
I can't see it because I'm not logged in. But hold on. Maybe it'll let me log in right now.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously. I'm one of the kindest, nicest people in the world. But, I had an older brother. And I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, it's 6. It's 6.
Oh,
so it's you.
Do you know what it means? I have crazy fighting skills that you all don't know about. Like I will.
This was an easy answer to me, although I would say a second place, nonlinear, and he'll just cut you with words.
You can't kill hello sticks and stones. Do you remember that?
Yeah. By the way, this is my new Lil Nouns water bottle, and I just have to show you how cute this is.
Where did you get it?
I got it. Creatress gave it to me. She was giving out merch to all the little nouners, and I don't know if she knew you were a little nouner. We should have got you one, but it's really, really freaking cute, and I love it. So thank you, Creatress.
I met a lot of Lil Nouns people this week. And I really liked them.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it was fun seeing a lot of folks. Lil Pizza was there. I was sitting at a table at once, and it was like everyone's telling their at one point, everyone's telling their handles, Farcaster handles, and I was sitting with Little Pizza and Lasagna. It was just, it was kind of funny. All right, moving on. We had a few more things happening there. This was from Emma. And actually, let me do this one first. A Tale of Two ETH Dembers. There was a lot of talk on Twitter about how sad ETH Dember was. And so this was one comment from Mia. People are tired. It's not just in Denver. We've been tired for a while. It never stops, but this tiredness is different. ETH Denver was not the same as previous years. It has nothing to do with the conference itself. People are sad. The excitement is lost. And it went on to there. And then you have best people in the world. I love you. Amazing.
Look how sad everybody looks in that
Everyone
picture.
looks so sad. I mean, they look clearly just devastatingly sad. So this was Emma's take on this. If the delta between expectation and reality either equals joy, positive, or disappointment, negative, then spending time IRL with Farcasters nearly guarantees joy at this point. So much fucking alpha in the room. Default questions are, how can I help? And can you tell me more? High concentration of founder mode and builder energy. Always feels like a team sport, even when we compete or disagree with each other. Not awkward meeting new people because there are a max 2 degrees of separation between any two people, even as the user base scales. So I felt that completely, like all of that. So I spent this ETH Denver with more Farcaster folks than I did last year. Last year I was pretty split. I think really the only time was our event and the Farcaster event where I really saw a lot of people from Farcaster. The rest of the time I was at other events that they weren't there. This time I pretty much was I didn't go to an event where there wasn't a significant number of people that I knew from Farcaster, and the energy was fantastic. Every single one I went to. So shout out to Humpty, did a great creator summit, and that was fantastic. Great energy, great panels, super optimistic vibe when I walked out of there. So that was fantastic. Icebreaker had a meetup. That was great. Loved that place, that location. It was nice and chill and fun. And we tried to do some streaming from it, but I think the audio the acoustics just weren't working for us. But it was just lovely. It was just lovely. And we had fun. And no, we should not. And we'll talk. We're going to get to this, by the way. We're going to get to it. But no, we should not. But it was just a very different energy. It was a very different energy. I have to dip out early, but we'll catch the rest later today. Bye, Miriam.
I feel like she might have missed this, but I really wanted her to be around for when we talk about karaoke, not to rub it in her face she wasn't there, but to let her know how much she was missed. Okay.
You were very much missed. You were very much missed. We were thinking about you during karaoke. And we will get to that. But yeah, so I felt like we just had a very positive experience. And it's funny to hear how much negativity there was coming out of there. And I just didn't feel it. Even the first day at the main event felt buzzing and positive and good vibes and all that. So, but I heard that the next 2 days, it kind of was not as many people and a little quieter and things like that. So it might just be, maybe it's just scaled up too much and needs to just scale back a little bit. I don't know, but I had a blast. Okay, so let's move into a little bit about our event. And speaking of karaoke, this was from JC. Can honestly say that no one has surprised me quite like TLDR did with the mic drop. Oh, thank you. At the GMF party today. GG, sir. You never know. And this is in response. This is a quotecast to TLDR. You never really know the person who will be behind the PFP you're interacting with. Always cooler than you were imagining. TLDR, we don't have the video yet. But he did this, it was welcome to the internet, Bo Burnham, but welcome to the protocol. And it was seamless. It was lovely. And it was hilarious. And his skills were just next level.
Does everybody even know Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham?
I
think not.
No.
So
no.
That, I wonder when that actually came out. Probably, I don't know. We need to bring that back. The lyrics were amazing. Even know it. And then he shifted them a little bit to make them a little Farcaster specific. And it was really good. And he has a good voice. Most of it's
really
speaking,
good. Incredible.
And then there's some singing and you're like, who is this guy? He's so good.
Incredible voice. And then he and Erica and I also did Love Shack. You missed that one, but we crushed it. And Debbie Soon, holy crap. She went first. So she did the first song in our karaoke brunch and she did Jolene. And I was like, did Dolly Parton just walk in the room? What is going on? It was crazy, the talent. So it was lovely. There's some recordings. Ted has a recording of TLDR. I do not know what her plan is for that. So I assume that she's going to drop it at some point, but we are not in charge of that. But it was really fun. We also, let me pull this up. We had so much fun. There was pool. There was ping pong. There was Alina Ferry in a perfectly GM Farcaster outfit. So I had to show that. there was also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this cracked me up. Yes to Crypto flew in, and this was his day 16 of asking Matcha to support limit orders on base, in-person mode enabled at ETH Denver. And then he went on. It's just hilarious. Here is the in-person mode. This is Yes to Crypto with Will Warren, the founder of Zero X and Matcha. At our event, I walked over and I didn't recognize Will at first. Right. It's like it just wasn't connecting. And I had walked over to say something to Yes to Crypto, and then I went, and then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name." And I figured out who it was, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm out. I'm walking away." Like, I know what's happening here. So I'm not sure what the results were, but in-person mode was enabled. So there you go. We had so much fun. It was just a blast, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Lots of pictures I still have to drop. But I will say this was lovely. Thank you, Yes to Crypto, for this note that you dropped about us. And it was so great to hang out. I do need to pull all my pictures together, but this gives you a little bit of like our entrance space. And this was the karaoke room. And we just had so much fun. So I'm clipping everything together. I'll have more later, but it was a blast. So lastly, what I want to say about ETH Denver is I did spend, like I said, more time with Farcaster folks, and I'm super excited for FarCon. We did spend some time with Emma talking about plans and what's going on, and kind of getting some things organized from our end for the media space and kind of understanding what's happening there. But I know, like, this is a smaller event. This isn't an ETH Denver where you can walk in the day of or like that there's room for 20,000 people. It's going to be like 400-ish, maybe a little bit more than that. I'm not sure what the exact number is. So there's going to be people who, either, can't go because they're on the other side of the world, or didn't see the application in time, or now they're new to Farcaster and they haven't been casting at all for a year. So they were like, okay, well, we're going to take the person who has been. So there's, a lot of reasons why you may not be able to attend, either for your own reasons or just because of space limitations. But I want to just suggest, like, if you're on the wait list right now, just chill. They're going through in bunches. There's going to be people who back out and they, give their ticket to somebody else. There's going to be, people who don't claim their ticket, and more space will open up. So just, give it a minute. If you can't attend because of cost or whatever, and you're on, in a different area of the world, go create your own. Far Away Con looked fabulous last year. Like, a bunch of European folks got together, put together something. I think was it in Paris? I think it was in Paris. I don't remember, but it looked amazing. It looked amazing. Yeah. So they had a blast.
Like actual talks. I mean, they were doing like talks and demo. Like, it was a full-on mini con.
They did demos with builders. They did, lightning talks. They did a whole thing. So you can do that. No one's stopping you. You can plan a side event. Nouns is doing a side event that's leading up to FarCon, and they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own hackathon. They're doing their own, dinner, things like that. So you can do that. You can do your own FarCon, like FarCon Asia, like just a whole blown conference if you want. Like, nobody's stopping you. But please remember that people are putting this on are not getting paid to do this. Like, they're doing it because they're part of the community. They want to do this. Yes, you get a little bit of attention for doing something like this, but you also get a lot of hassle and a lot of frustration. And it is not easy. So go gentle with those volunteers. Like, Dylan and Emma right now are the ones that are out front. There are others that I'm sure will start to be a little more prominent, like Jack and others on the team. But, give them a break. Like, don't be harassing them, because it's just not a good look. It doesn't make them feel good. And then it makes it very difficult for them to even be like, sure, we'd love to have you there. Person who's been bullying me for 2 weeks. Like, don't do that. Just don't do that. So, it's not that it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if you can't make it. Like, create your own thing.
And it is a rare thing in crypto, right, where there's actually a cap there's a ceiling to the number of tickets and spaces that are available, and there are more people. So it's not like it's not a everybody is, I quote unquote, qualified to go in terms of, have you been building on
Right.
Farcaster? Are you active? And then sorry, laughing at comments in
Yeah.
the chat. Um, so it's
I'm
like,
not
and
too.
yes,
No, it's
and
not a dig.
by the way, and I have kids applying to college now, and
Honestly,
it reminds me of something similar.
there's been
It's
multiple
it's
people who've been put on the wait list who think they were rejected completely and kind of have said some things either on the timeline or I've heard it from them directly, who have been in my own DMs. So like it's not one person. That's not towards one person, really isn't. So
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adrian.
Oh
Continue.
no, it's just like it's shitty. There's going to be people who should be there and could be, right? It's
Yeah.
like, if there, it wouldn't it be great if it wasn't capped at 400 and it was 600, 800, 1,000, 5,000.
Yeah.
It just,
I've
but
had a
it's
few people in nouns and I running up to the application deadline, I shared it in multiple places of like, hey, if you have, and we were putting a prop in to sponsor the event. So like there's nouns folk who didn't listen to me, didn't get their application in, and oh well. Like I'm sorry, but they can
there's
go to the
right.
side event, they can go to the other things, but I'm not gonna, there's nothing I can do now because you didn't even
Yeah.
apply.
And there's
So
friends. I talked to someone this
sorry.
weekend who's like an OG on
Yeah.
Farcaster,
Yeah.
super, super active. She was like, to me, like one of the, like, she was an OG and she was at other
Yeah.
Farcons. And you know what? She got a new job. She like was a little busy and just like wasn't super active on Farcaster recently.
Yeah.
Applied. She also said I got rejected, but no, she's on the wait list, right? Like it's
Right.
that. But it
Yeah.
was like, oh, we went and checked, like, have you casted recently? And no. And she's like, but how do I it's there's
So it's
so many people. It's just there's
right.
no it's a really
And they
there's no
are
easy
trying to keep
answer.
it like a mix of like newer folks too and giving that opportunity and all that. So they're looking at profiles. If they don't know you, if they're not familiar, if they're like, okay, let me go see what they've been doing. Oh, cool. They're casting, they're building something, they're building this thing. Even if you don't have a ton of followers, they are looking to see what are you doing because this is essentially a builder summit. So it's not just like a, retail crypto kind of thing, so it's definitely more geared towards builders. So anyway,
It's not just a
that's all.
vibe.
It's not just a vibe. It's not just a vibe. It's not a festival with
Uh,
unicorns. By the way,
that was
that was probably
hilarious.
one of my favorite moments was Dan going, what is going on? So when we were in the booth, if you haven't watched yet, we did do recording. We did do a watch party on Friday. So I know a lot of you saw it already. But if you didn't, go check out our East Denver interviews because that was hilarious with Dan just looking around and being like, what am I looking at? Like, yeah, it's a little crazy. I love it, but I can understand how it might be a little weird. So, all right. Anything else about East Denver before we shift a little bit?
Um No, I hope everyone had a good time. It was really just it was so wonderful to kind of have the feed IRL. Like seeing people
Yeah,
is always special. Meeting new people is special. I guess my last and we kind of touched it, like in years past it was like, what's Farcaster? And this year
right.
it's like Farcaster kind of front and center, and people would talk about it as if it was established. So that was good.
Yeah,
Um, how's everybody? And then if you were at ETH Denver, I do want to know how everyone is doing, and has anyone gotten the post-conference plague,
yeah.
and is
Please let
anyone
us
sick?
know. Yeah, please let us know.
Because I'm
Yeah,
curious how everyone is
Dan in the
post.
wild. I'm feeling
Yeah.
fine, but I was doing a very strict regimen of emergency and Zycam. So far so good. The one conference I didn't do it for was Art Basel, and I was only there 2 days, and I was sick for the whole month of December. So I'm doing my best to avoid it. Are you freaking what? He just dropped an announcement now. Okay, Adrian, go
I
grab that. No, we're not.
I'll I'll
So
find
we do
out.
have a
You can
bunch of
do
we
do
are
the
getting
news of the past
yes,
few.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the news of the past and then we'll get into the news of the 2 seconds ago. Okay, so we have a few things that have been happening while we were gone. This is from Gabriel Oeso, introducing new advanced protection using time-based one-time passwords. one-time code from an authenticator app will be required to recover your Farcaster account, and login via email on web will be disabled. Enable setting in advanced. So if this is something that you're interested in, this option is now available. And there's a few other, I think this was also, this one's from V, similar. Use advanced protection mode to protect your Warpcast wallet. Login to web requires QR scan. Account recovery requires two-factor code. If you store more than 1,000 in your wallet, you should turn this on. Go to settings, advanced protection on mobile. Okay. Then this from Varun, PFP previews when you get funds from somebody on Farcaster. So now you are seeing who sent that from you, sent that to you. So if you get 1,000 plague, you'll know exactly very quickly who the heck sent that, which is very cool. So glad to see this. This is super helpful. This from Horsefax, 2FA now available for recoveries and web login. Your FID owns your Warpcast wallet. So if you're an active wallet user, it's a good idea to turn this on. This is the same thing we just talked about. This from Horsefax, FAQ. So you got a weird token in your Warpcast wallet. Warpcast wallet hides spammy tokens by default, but you may notice unknown tokens listed if you choose to tap show all. These are almost always spam or scams, and once in a while, a spammy token makes it past the filter. These tokens will usually try to trick you into visiting a malicious website by displaying a link in the token name or in an error message. This is the same for all wallets, by the way. This is not unique to Warpcast, to Warplet. The best and safest thing you can do is ignore them. Yes? What?
Like, to your point, it's the same as all wallets. So if you've been in crypto for a long time, you know this. But Farcaster is reaching new people who might have signed up via email for the first time. It might be their first wallet. I love this, like, the foundational kind of educational content that they're putting out. And it's like good for us to be reminded as well, too. Even like I love the basic stuff. So
yeah, I think this is great. And so just, the biggest thing is usually just don't touch it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. And that's what this whole FAQ is. I got a no token. What should I do with it? Ignore it. It says it's an airdrop. Is this free money? No, ignore it. This is a scam. Should I send it out of my wallet? No, ignore it. Should I swap it for another token? No, ignore it. There's a website in the token name. Should I visit it? No, ignore it. This link is a scam. I tried to swap it and the error says to go to a website. Should I visit it? No, ignore it. This is a scam. So in other words, just ignore them. Next up, we have new Warpcast wallet feature, slippage toggle. You can now manually dial in your slippage setting to ensure your trade lands promptly. Feel free to reach out if you have any feedback on the feature. And this is from, I don't know how to say it. It's Daniel, but it's Priobst. How do you say his Pyrost 3? Pyrops 3? Pyros. But bottom line, this is the dude who used to be a bounty caster, or he's still with bounty caster. But this is one of the new hires. So first time we're featuring him in this way. Usually we're just featuring him via bounty caster. So that's kind of fun. So that's cool. Manage your slippage. This was from V. A few changes to Warpcast rewards this week. Prize pool is up to 20K, up from 15K. Awards go to 2,000 users, up from 1,000. Earn a 500 point boost if you have at least $50 in your wallet. So that's pretty cool if you fund your wallet. And then this was a midweek update to prevent algo gaming. Only top 100 casts count towards your score. Only X engagements from a user will count. In other words, if you spin up a ton of different accounts to try and like your stuff to amplify your score, you're only going to get so far with that. And they won't tell us the exact number. Most users will see a moderate decrease to scores. Accounts that were gaming the system should see a larger decrease. So this came from John Galt's situation. This prevents two things: farming points by generating hundreds of casts, farming points by using alt accounts to like every post you make. Why are we doing this? The John Galt 13 account has been stress testing our algo. We found some weak points that we're patching up to make the algo more fair to everyone. So what I didn't understand from this was, did they spin up that account? Or is this somebody who just did it? And then I thought that was what it was. Like somebody just did it, and then that ended up revealing some areas of weakness, I believe. But it's from that note, it was a little hard to understand. But I assume it was like somebody independently just did it, and then they found some weaknesses, is the way I took that. Correct? Is that how you took it?
I guess.
Okay.
But
I guess.
but I'm glad they're reacting to it.
The other thing related to this is that replies are not counting towards your so here's the thing. Yeah, so your replies are not counting toward your score. I forgot to pull the cast from Keckers, but Ted said, "Why are you quote casting?" And Keckers is like, "Because you reward me for quote casting, you don't reward me for replying." So then it became a quote cast festival. And this is from Cassie. "We are all Q seers on this Blur's day. And then I am exclusively a Q seer now. Am I exclusively a Q seer now?" And then this was the original from Keckers. "More or less, yeah, I can have a reply that won't get seen nor count to my score, or I can have a quote that will." So that is why. And then I made a note about you're going to have to go back. I should have gone backwards first so you could see the original. Because I said, "I hear quote casting is in vogue," to which Ramsey replied with this, quote casted this, and then I quote casted the lyrics to Vogue. So thank you. Quote cast. There you go. Not Vogue, but quote cast. So that was fun. It was fun for a moment. We had a moment with a beta, with a meta, with a quote cast meta. Speaking of betas, would you be interested in running a beta Snapchain node? Please reply if you want to be in the beta. And Adrian, what should we tell them about running a node? I'm going to guess.
If you want to run let's call them a former Farcaster hub, now a beta Snapchain node, there are no rewards. There are no future rewards for running Farcaster nodes.
So V does have a note here that says, because Zinger asked, "Are the rewards higher than regular hubs and higher than 0?" And V said equal to or higher than. So I don't know.
If Lynx was in our chat right now, he would be telling everybody to run a node because higher than means non-zero. So
it could be non-zero, but it could also be
conspiracy.
0. It does say equal to.
Yeah, it won't be less than.
It won't be less
Actually,
than.
it will be less
0.
than because you do pay for the infrastructure, so that's out of your pocket.
That's true. Other features that have launched this week has been new on Warpcast, new user Halo. Every new user who follows 5 people and verifies a phone number is getting a green halo for their first week on Farcaster. So if you see any green halos, go check them out. Go give them a follow. Give them some love. I love this from Ted. Super excited about the green new user halo, an easy signal for us to know who is brand new to the Farcaster community and make them feel at home. If you see a green halo, say hi, especially on Mondays in the welcome channel, where we'll do a weekly intro thread for new users. So that's cool. So some new stuff for the newbies, which is great. This is from Brad Q. 7 builder drops you may have missed while at ETH Denver or just busy. Verify frames for weekly rewards. Jake gave 1 base colors to the top 100. I didn't even know that. I have to go check my wallet. MYK frame to give ENS name to Warplet. Linda is recruiting coins and hypersubs to distribute with rewards. Rewards tweak to combat gaming the algo. Palura Minds frame banger management looks fun. Green halo on new accounts for their first week. So thank you, Brad Q, who keeps doing things to make our lives easier, and I appreciate that. So I keep tipping you lots of DJ. So that is pretty cool. And did you get any info as to what dropped, by the way? What they were talking about? Okay.
Yes,
do you want to drop the link
did.
in
Sure.
our little chat, and I'll pull it up.
Yeah. Or
I'm going to go back to my news while you do that. It's a few more things. This was really fun. Have you tried Farcaster Memory game? It's super
yes.
cute. It's really fun. Using all the PFPs of people you follow, I assume, is what it's pulling from. Oh, it's built by JRF. I was like, who built this? I didn't notice that it says built by JRF. But it doesn't seem to be working for me right this second. Maybe it's only mobile. But this is really cute, and it's like a memory game but it's using the PFPs of Farcaster. So it was really fun. Let me see. Yeah, let me pull this up real quick so I can see what the heck is going
They
on.
announced, and you can pull it up. It is just like there are Warpcast rewards for most engaging casts. They are now doing developer rewards for most used frames.
Oh,
like
cool.
Most popular
Okay.
frames. There's no way to gamify it.
Very cool.
Don't worry about that. It will.
Can't gamify it. Warpcast developer rewards are here. Weekly rewards to the top 25 frames every Wednesday, ranking based on number of frame opens and frame transactions. Pool starts at 1,000 and will increase over time, divided proportionally based on opens and transactions. So cool. Very cool. What is Harmony Bot? I don't even know what that is. I got to go check that out. These two I know because I've been using them often. Every day I open Farcade and Farville and Clankeron. Ponder's in there, Rodeo, Earn on Morpho. I just started using that. That is a very cool frame where you can earn yield right in the frame. It's very cool. Go check that out. But these are great. This is also a great way to highlight the frames people are using. So that's fantastic. So that's good.
That is it. I did DM Varun the link to our StreamYard right now and told him next time he's dropping news while we are live, he should just come on. But I'm on.
He won't do that.
He left me on unread.
He won't do that.
I sent it to Linda. Linda could come on. Dan,
Linda might do that. Ted might do that. Varun's definitely. Dan even might do that. Varun's definitely not. He's not breaking news. He's like that. That's not happening.
Ouch, Varun. You hear that?
I just don't see it. No,
now it's a challenge.
It's not a comment on him. I'm just saying I don't see that happening. But I could be wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. And of course, he knows he's welcome anytime. So wanted to share this too. This was pretty cool. So Jake dropped something yesterday. It's a Zoraverse Clanker. And what he did was take the same image, same idea, and dropped it both as a Clanker token and then also on Zora. And then he casted out both of the contracts, so you can find both of them, or you can just go to Jake's profile if you want to see. So Jacob had this comment. I can see why people compare the two, but they are very distinct and different to me. They're not that different to me, but I understand that he thinks they are very different. Clanker, which I'm a big fan of, is finding a lot of success in tokenizing projects, a non-native Clank fund, etc. And Farcaster native memes. Zora's purpose is purpose built for content, images, video, GIFs, songs, etc. It's more social by nature. The UX context and problem space is very different and will probably diverge even more. So we'll see. I did buy one of them. I forgot to put this on. This was from ETH Denver. I picked up a little merch and I totally forgot. I'm not going to tell you which token I bought, but I forgot to share this hat that I bought at ETH Denver. So let me just put this on right now. I bought one of them, and NFA, all that kind of thing. It's just a meme coins. So, but have fun. And we'll see. I think this is a great experiment. My guess is, I'm not even sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the Zora one had a higher market cap just because they have a different audience, but we'll see what happens. But I think it's a great experiment. So well done, Jake. So very cool. NFA, risk of loss, blah, 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 DYOR. All those things. This from Garrett. Okay, so this is our last I think this is our last topic, pretty much. Yeah, this is our last big topic. I have one last thing. Is that yesterday on a Sunday, Donald Trump posted on True Social, a U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration. That's not exactly accurate, which is why my executive order on digital assets, that's not really accurate either, directed the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, Sol, and ADA. I will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. We are making America great again. And then everyone went, what about Bitcoin and Ethereum? And apparently Eric gave a call to his dad and went, hey, Dad, can you just one more thing? And he said, obviously, BTC and ETH as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be at the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I loved Garrett's comment. We found gains in a hopeless place. So if you're wondering yesterday why all of a sudden, 2 seconds after I sold one ETH because, I needed to pay some bills, it went up. And you're like, why on a Sunday today when nothing's happening? This was what happened. So I think let me just clarify a couple things on this whole point is that it's the executive order on digital assets does not, it talks about a study of stockpiles and reserves. It does not specifically talk about any of these specific coins at all. There has been no legislation or anything that has set aside specific funds to purchase any cryptocurrencies at all. We do currently hold a significant amount of Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies because of seizures and things like that from different legal actions. So that is, I imagine, where it's starting. And then it would take legislation to go further. There is already a bill in Congress that Senator Loomis has put forth, and she did this last year, and then when the new Congress came in, she did it again. And this has bipartisan support for a Bitcoin reserve. So I believe that will happen. The other four, I don't know. If you are going to use funds, taxpayer funds, it does have to go through the legislative process. So are there ways that you can maybe shift some investments or things like that around? Maybe. I heard some people saying they're going to sell the gold in Fort Knox. Again, you can't just do that. Like, it's not like you can just do that. And I don't think that anyone would suggest doing that, honestly, who has any kind of financial sense. So I think it's what's happening is that what was happening previously is that a lot of times, not a lot of times, but there were times when the government was selling the digital assets, and you'd see alerts that would come up and be like, U.S. government just moved funds over here. And if they don't have to, they shouldn't right now. Like, they should just be holding them if they're significant, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, et cetera. People had feelings about the ADA and XRP of it all. Not as much about Sol, but there are a lot of feelings. I think Boys Club did a good job here. Cardano, really? There's a lot of questions about, like, how did that get in there? Seemed odd. So a lot of people had feelings. Whoops, there we go. ADA and XRP. Weird choices, but not really. And then, like, this was from 6. I'd say I'm probably against the crypto reserve, even if I'm happy to benefit from it. Like, why should the U.S. government purchase these coins? Any answer for where the money comes from is also not really enjoyable. So there's a lot of that sort of discussion going on. Yeah, this was the Eric got salty and made a call. And so there's a lot of, like, craziness. This was interesting from Christopher. Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. This was from Peter Schiff. Very anti-crypto, anti-Bitcoin for a long time. I get the rationale for a Bitcoin reserve. I don't agree with it, but I get it. We have a gold reserve. Bitcoin is digital gold, which is better than analog gold. So let's create a Bitcoin reserve too. But what's the rationale for XRP reserve? Why the hell would we need that?
Agreed. By the way.
And then Kojo, how we feel about XRP being the strategic reserve is probably also how people outside of crypto think about a crypto reserve existing at all. And I think that's accurate. So one thing to keep in mind, and so this is what I think is happening. There is the first meeting of the crypto sort of advisory board is coming up this week. I think this is a discussion point. Why it's happening now, today, or yesterday was because of, I think, somebody had a bad couple days and needed a win. I think this is why it happened. Why these particular coins, besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, the other coins have had there were donations made to the inauguration fund. There was 5 million in XRP that was donated to the Trump inauguration fund. There was a 1 million donation for Solana. I don't remember if Cardano did. I think they did as well. So I think there's some like, let's make some of our people happy kind of moment, but there's not actually things happening. So for people who are panicking or getting upset or why XRP, just take a breath, because like we're not spending taxpayer funds at this moment to purchase coins. Now, going back to some of this, if we just look at Bitcoin and then we can sort of move that out, we are currently holding, I think it's over 200,000 Bitcoin. So it's a significant, if you do the math, it's significant. It's in the billions or trillions. It might even be in the trillions at this point. It's a lot of Bitcoin. If you look at where China is at, they are not far behind. And then if you go through some of the other countries, you can see how much they're holding, if it's been disclosed, and not everybody's disclosed. We know that North Korea is holding a significant amount of cryptocurrency at the moment because they keep hacking everybody.
Literally at the moment.
At the moment. So there is something to a crypto arms race, if you will. You don't want to be the one not holding Bitcoin if your adversaries are. I can't say that about the other tokens. You can maybe say it about Ethereum. That's going to be like the next one, but it's still not as significant. And then the other three, that's not an issue. There's no like arms race for that other crypto at this moment. So there's pros and cons to holding all of this. I think we shouldn't be selling anything we are holding, but I'm not sure we should be buying it with tax dollars besides maybe Bitcoin. Thoughts?
I don't know. I think you covered it really well.
Thank you.
And it's always good to have the reminder to come with the feelings.
Yeah. Just give it a minute. This is like an announcement of maybe an announcement of something that might happen in the future. Like that's really where it is right now.
And yeah.
The only one that's
get used to anything serious being sprinkled with clown.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think, go take a look at what Cynthia Lummis has put forth in terms of the bill for the Bitcoin reserve. It's very tempered and measured and makes a little bit more sense. It is significant. It is, a shift. And I don't know if for sure it will pass because there's bipartisan support, but there's also bipartisan unsupport or there's people who don't like it on both sides. So it's going to take some work to get there, but I think it probably will happen.
Yeah. I spent the afternoon yesterday with a friend. This is post ETH Denver, a friend who is not a crypto native person. And she was asking, so one, she was giving me the case. We started talking about Doge. Okay. And she's like, Adrienne, I know you've always been an Elon fan. Like, tell me what are your thoughts on what's going on? I gave her my thought and she was really happy to hear an alternative viewpoint because she's only hearing one thing. And then I was also talking about just crypto and policy and kind of what the Biden administration had done and kind of, so she said to me, you know what, I'm really like thankful for hearing this viewpoint. And I made a few points. And then she just goes, but what about Trump coin?
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, you can't
I know
it's going to be really hard to.
That really hurt a lot.
I don't know what to tell you about
argument. It's rough. I will say one thing I didn't bring up is that the SEC did officially put forth that meme coins are not securities. And that was great clarity, which we couldn't get previously. So it's like there's great things happening on the regulatory side, even if we have some like craziness happening at times that doesn't feel great because we know there's some, bag holding, pumping kind of stuff happening in the background that doesn't feel great. There's also some really good things happening as well, where people who are legitimately building things are going to be able to move forward without worrying about that Wells notice hitting them in the head
Totally.
and having
There's
to
so
spend
much
tons of money on legal.
Yeah, there's always been grift. There will continue to be.
Yeah.
And then there's also good things. So if you're like super immersed, we see it. I mean, that was my kind of comment on ETH Denver, which like in response to all the doom and gloom, it's like, okay, you talk about doom and gloom, except look at all the people I was hanging around with are just builders, right? And compare it to where you were a year ago. And I went through what was on my list, but between Bracket and Mashicam and Uno and Warplit,
and Warplit
and Warplit, and Clanker and Bountycaster and just like the list is infinite. So it's not infinite; it's finite. It's a finite list,
but it's a lot.
It's a good list. But it's a good.
It's a good list. It's a lot.
So
Bankers.
I'm just like
somebody was just Bankers
so
getting a lot of love.
optimism.
Yeah, so much optimism.
Banker who is working on.
We're both doing the same thing. Yeah.
Limit orders.
Yep. Who will release first? So wait a minute. Is Matcha? Did you actually get them to get there? Are they building it? What was the result of your discussion? Yes to crypto, and also David Sachs did say don't jump to conclusion about any purchases. There was the reason things went up was a buy the rumor moment. It was a buy the rumor moment for sure because there was nothing specific that was happening. But people were just happy to see some positivity and just were like, yay, let's go. But there's no, and then yes, also made in America coins. Yes, they've specifically said that previously. Like they have specifically said, which is, if you think about that in any kind of logical form, it's insanity. But yes, the teams are American teams, space teams.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe Dick Butt was also part of the reserve.
Like we said, they haven't actually decided what's going in it, but Dick Butt probably does have.
I mean, I can't imagine that would be left out. Absolutely. I mean, of course. You can't have a crypto reserve without some Dick Butt. I know we are not serious people. But also, they're both doing it at the same time.
Can't get it off our screen.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Meta David. It's all good.
The names of the coins I'm getting dropped to me lately, it's all like COVID, virus, like anthrax, like stop.
So but that's because there's a game. There was a launcher and it's part of a game. It's called Infection or something like that. So there was a number of
game or is it
broader? No, I think it was a Twitter. I don't quote me on any of this because I didn't fully dial in, but I saw it happening. And it was like a game of like, you're supposed to send it to people. So that's why if you're seeing those, it's probably part of that game, but it also could be a scam pretending to be part of that game.
So thank you. So so I'm doing nothing with it. I'm ignoring it. There's
things like that. I do have one last thing that I want to share. That is from our friend Jesse. If I can get it to come up. Come on. Because we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but I needed to do this separately because I want to play this video.
While you're pulling that up, can we say hi to all of our friends who are watching on X today? So by the way, the chat is on fire. YouTube chat
on fire.
Goated, literally goated. We love every single one of you on YouTube because you're the most fun, and it's very active today.
But we love you on Twitter too.
Hello on Twitter. We do love you. And there's a lot of you today. So I want to know, is that post ETH Denver excitement?
You guys looking for some happiness? You looking for some optimism?
Yeah. Are they like, and if anyone who's listening on Twitter needs a Farcaster invite, let us know because we have lots and you'll get a green halo coming over.
You'll get a green halo. We'll follow you. We'll promote you, all that kind of stuff. But please, and please say hi. Say hi in the chat. Let us know who you are. Farcock, I don't know if you're really Jeff. I can't, so I'm not tagging Jeff until I know for sure. I assume that you're trolling. So I'm going to share this video from Jesse, and he had some thoughts to share. So let's go.
If you didn't see, we made base faster with 200 millisecond block times. We made base more powerful with the launch of base app chains. And we made base simple with the announcement about sub accounts for the smart wallet, which make it so you can bring all of your wallets together into one simple interface. And there's also one more thing, which is that me and my wife had our baby this week. And we're so excited. He's happy, he's healthy, mom's great. And it's been a really special week getting to be with family and getting to experience bringing a new builder into the world. And I also wanted to give you all a heads up that I'm going to be out for the next month. I'm taking some time with the family to be present, to be connected, to help my little boy grow up. And I have a little bit of nervousness about this. It's always hard to step away from base and from all this incredible stuff that we're building. But I want to make this an opportunity, because I think one of the things we've seen over the last maybe 3 to 6 months is that while base has grown in the number of people who are participating and the number of builders and the number of users, I, in my voice on Twitter and in other channels, still play a really central role. And that's good in a lot of ways, but I think it also has some downsides. In particular, it's a centralizing force. And I think that's something that needs to change. We need more decentralized, more voices that make base what it is. And so the challenge that I want to give to all of you is take this opportunity where my voice is gone to fill in the space. Lift up your own voice, lift up other builders' voices, and help tell the story of base, help tell the world where we're going, help bring the world on chain, and help make more decentralized perspectives, more decentralized voices be the ones telling the story of what's actually happening. So I will see all of you in about a month. I hope you have an awesome March. Keep building and stay based.
Bye, Jesse. So congratulations, Jesse. And was very excited to see that he did, that the baby was born. That was why he was not at December, but I thought it was like soon, but I didn't know it was like going to be during. So that was crazy. But congratulations. But also I just wanted to, when I saw the end of that message, I was like, oh, we need to share this, because I think it's an awesome opportunity for creators out there. We've seen what Naomi Afrochicks has been doing and onboarding people and getting out and just taking initiative. And we talked to her about that in our Denver interview. So, if you're a creator, if you have an idea, if you want to build something, if you're building a game on the platform, Farcade's a great example, things like that. Make sure you're amplifying it and get in that space, because we're going to miss you for a month, Jesse. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. But congratulations. So any other thoughts?
Just echoing that. First of all, congratulations, Jesse. You see how proud and happy he is?
I know.
It melts my heart. So wish him and his wife and new baby the best. And obviously we're a Farcaster show and we are built on base. So we would love to amplify all the things happening. But that was a lot of, the whole concept of Scenius on Farcaster and kind of permissionless is there's no ownership. And you can feel free to take kind of ownership and tell the story. And we saw a lot of that here. And I think he's right. It's his leadership is what is phenomenal.
Right.
And I think we appreciate all that, but it's, when you do have a loud, a loud leader, people tend to kind of maybe
let them lead
for permission and let them lead. So I'll be interested to see kind of what voices emerge, and now you have permission, though you didn't need it to go,
It's funny because I think at every conference I've had time to talk with Aniri and some of the other team, and this time she was running. She was running for thing to thing because she was, she and other members of the team were kind of filling that void of what Jesse was normally doing and making sure that, base had a presence there. And So she was running like crazy. So you're going to see a lot more from the team as well, other members of the team. And I think that's great. You know, you can't just be on one person's shoulders.
The Crypto Sapiens Creator Summit, On-Chain Creator
Right.
Summit, like
Yeah.
Aneri was a panelist, so you had a little bit of a
Yeah.
base voice, but that was just one of 4 panels.
Right.
It almost felt like a base panelist because everybody was talking
Everyone
about
mentioned it. Yeah.
everyone mentioned base, but
Yeah.
also talked about how
And Farcaster.
how it was to
Yeah.
build on base and
Yeah.
build on Farcaster. So I thought that was really cool to hear and see. Like it wasn't
was
actually
great.
people from base talking about base.
Exactly. Yeah. It was other people,
So
other
Humpty, we need
builders.
get those recordings out.
Yeah, exactly. Great opportunity. All righty. This has been a little longer than normal, but I mean, when we don't have an interview. So
Yeah, it's the middle of the day, no interview. And there was a
Renee.
lot to talk about.
There was so much to talk about. I think we covered
What are you
it
doing
all.
for the rest of the day?
Processing this video and taking a nap. These are the 2 things on my list. And eventually, if you have DM'd me, DC'd me, reach out to me in any way, ping me again. I will get to you over the next couple days. So
Ditto.
yeah.
Ditto,
And
ditto.
I think ditto to everybody.
I'm going on a podcast.
What do you do on a podcast? What podcast?
I'm recording a podcast later today. I'm a guest on a podcast, and it is it's at my kids' school. They do like a podcast, and the topic is about social media use within kids. And I have this really weird, awkward stance that I'm a professional social media person, and I'm like, everybody should be on social media 24 hours a day, and it's super healthy for you. And I think they might throw me out of the room.
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch
They're
it.
like, tell us how social media is ruining our kids. And I'd be like, hey, have you checked out Farcaster?
It's not. Have you checked out?
Do you know you can get bounties?
My kid.
Do you know there's a Warplet? Do you know there's a Warplet? Everyone gets a wallet and you can connect with builders around the world and it's super cool and everyone's like nice and they just like build you up. Like, have you checked out Farcaster?
So I checked out Farcaster. So funny. Yeah, we might be slightly different. I'm still trying to get my kid to do some golf stuff on Farcaster.
Our governor is putting up legislation to ban phones from schools, though, which I know your state has done before. And so this was like, well, we'll see what happens.
I think that, I'm fine with phones being locked up for the day or something like that. Like you can't have it in class, you can't use it, needs to stay in the locker and all that. But yeah, you kind of need a phone just in case, I think. But that's just me. But anyway, I live in a state that we've had this conversation. But anyway, and we'll be back Wednesday at our regular time. I think we're doing 8:30. I think we're back at 8:30.
Sounds good.
I don't think we don't
Wednesday,
have we don't have an interview this week yet. We have
Wednesday at our regular time.
Talk to who we're going to interview that we need to schedule. So we'll get there.
We do have a guest on Friday.
We have a guest on Friday? Who is it?
Yes.
Are you going to surprise me?
We have none other than Rish from Nanar.
Yay!
And
that's
Rish
right.
Was yeah. Rish was one of our first guests when we introduced guessing. We have a special guest in our audience right now, by the way. Farcaster royalty.
Woof. Is that the dog?
Yes, it's the dog. Pups. He's adorable. I don't know how it would work, but you're welcome to come on sometime.
Yeah, we'd love that. We'd love that. We'd love to meet you.
Anyway, so Rish will be on Friday. If you have questions about Farcaster infrastructure, Nanar, building on Farcaster, let us know and make sure.
Yeah, that would be great. And also Friday is Farcaster Friday. So Friday night, 7 p.m., we'll also be doing poker and we'll be streaming that. We will have Burberry is going to be one of the players on Friday, as is JC Sparks. So we have a couple serious poker players. We'll have a few players from Lil Nouns, and we'll have a few other players from Farcaster. And we'll be chatting about Farcaster and Lil Nouns while we're playing. So it's going to be fun. And quick thank you. Thank you, Lil Nouns, for sponsoring our event as well as sponsoring the show. And we love you. And with that, I think that's it. Anything else? Did I forget anything else?
That's it. It's been an hour and 15 minutes.
It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's enough of us, frankly. You all have things to do. We have things
Yeah.
to do. We're going to get this recording out. So if you missed anything in the beginning, you actually can grab it on Twitter or YouTube right away and circle back. But we'll also have it in all our usual podcast spots in just a little while. And with that, we will see you Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.